electricity, no running water. We attended
There's
it.
a Yogi Bear campground, I think. I
Yeah.
don't, because what it is, where it's, as you're coming in, you veer off to the right and kind of go south.
Mhm.
That's where you find the KOA, and further down is the Mackinac. And you just take that road straight into the town and get that
Good evening.
ferry.
Hey.
We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm glad that you're here. We have a number of folks who are not able to make it tonight, so we are recording tonight. That will be available for those who either had known conflicts or came down sick. We have one person with a broken car issue, a couple of scheduled conflicts, but I am very thankful that you're here. I'm very much looking forward to the start of the AWANA year. AWANA keeps us all very busy, but it also provides a lot of blessings, a lot of opportunities. And I'm also thankful to have as our guests tonight Rick and Connie Stomps. And they're hanging out in the back, and we're thankful for them. They're going to have a large part in the last half of the program, actually probably the last 2/3 of it. But I'd like us to go ahead and get started. We'll pray and commit this time to the Lord tonight, and commit the AWANA year to the Lord. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, we do ask tonight that you would help us to listen carefully, to absorb effectively. Lord, there are so many different moving parts to an AWANA program, but the core piece of it all is magnifying Christ, helping children to know Christ and to love Him, to proclaim your word, that children might be saved and might be growing young disciples. And Lord, I pray that you'd help us to be faithful servants, that we would teach your word and explain your word, that we would sing your word, that we would help the young people to apply your word. And so, Lord, we ask tonight as we get together that you would help us as we look at some of the changes with the AWANA curriculum program, that we would look at how we are prepared and set for beginning our new AWANA year in just a few more days. And Lord, we pray that you would strengthen us, give us wisdom, help us to have boldness, help us to have compassion. Help us, Lord, to be tireless in our efforts, because there will be many times when it would be easier to stay home than to come. It would be easier to not reach out than to do what's really needed to reach into the homes of these children. And so I pray you'd help us to trust you for strength and grace, that we might see fruit that abounds to your account, that we might have joy in our hearts knowing that our faithful labors were blessed and used by you to accomplish your purposes. And Lord, we thank you now for all that we'll learn, all we'll be able to share, all the questions we'll be able to ask. We'll commit it to you now in Jesus' name. Amen. Let me begin by passing out some handouts. In fact, I'm going to ask Tom if you could get those on this side, Vicki. Make sure everybody on this side gets one of those. Sir?
Doing well, thank you.
If we've got extras, you just stick them on the fridge here, it'd be great. That way, in case somebody comes in, they can grab one. Thank you. Let me start off with a word of thanks and brief explanation. I am very thankful that Dan Wells is here tonight. Number one, he came straight from work and hasn't been home to eat. But he is here, and you know, Dan and his family are praying and preparing to go on deputation, their desire to go to Ghana to serve. And with the prospects of selling the business and going on deputation, Dan had asked that he not be serving as commander this year because he just didn't know what his plans were. But as an encouragement to his heart, he told me the other day, Pastor, if there's any place you can plug me in as often as I'm here, I want to serve. So I'm thankful for that, and we will gladly and gratefully use Dan. He's a great resource. He's been a very faithful servant, so thankful for that. Also just want a couple of other things. Some of you may remember all the way back in February, we as a church at a special business meeting voted to approve funding for purchasing tables and chairs for children's ministry. we approved funding for some audiovisual equipment. Well, it was delayed, but we've made the first purchase in that, and we purchased 40 brand new metal and plastic chairs, folding chairs. They will be just slightly lower than these fabric chairs, but a lot more durable. And so those will be set up so we can use them for AWANA, for Sunday School for Children's Church, and those will be in the building here by Tuesday afternoon. All right, so they'll be here for the start of AWANA. So we're thankful for that. Also, just want to point out, if you were to look at the home page of our church website, that is what you would see, because you're actually looking live at our church website right now. And that's the home page. So we put an announcement about AWANA starting September 14. The very first thing people see when they scroll, well, technically they probably see that, but if they scroll down even just a little bit, they'll see this. And we've also, I want to show you, we've linked and we've created a dedicated AWANA page. It's going to go, there it is. So now AWANA has its own page on the website. And there's actually a lot of things there that would be helpful to you as you're working with parents in particular, or as workers. There's going to be some resources available for you. Now, I know not everybody is into technology and internet stuff, but it's a great tool, and typically the younger the parents, the more likely they are to be using the internet. In fact, you'll see on our flyers, I hope you've been able to take and pass out some of these flyers. There's a QR code. All they have to do is scan that. It takes them right to our AWANA page. So we're trying to introduce some things like that. But if you let me just for a second, we've got some pictures where it links to, you can see this is AWANA when they had the food drive. So there's information about that. Let me just back up. You can see the AWANA Grand Prix. There's pictures linked from the AWANA Grand Prix. It's going to load slow tonight. There you go. So there's a whole bunch of pictures. And you can see, folks can look back and see those, and we'll announce those like when we're ready to promote the new Grand Prix. But there's also in here parent and clubber information, free online resources for parents, some of the things to help them work alongside the children with the new TNT curriculum. There's also a registration form, and that they can get that form and sign off. You'll also see that there's the calendar for the entire year, where they can see what nights there's no AWANA, what nights or days, like Saturdays, there's special programs. And so those things are on there now. We're going to try to add some more things. And we want to make it a useful tool. We'd like to also provide a link there so they can find God's Bridge to Eternal Life. I mean, they'll find a clear gospel presentation if they go to the AWANA page. And we want to include a number of things like that. So we're going to try to continue adding useful resources like that. What I'd like you to do for a few minutes is just look with me at this handout sheet, all right? I'm not going to take a lot of time because it's all there. I just want to highlight a couple of things. First of all, under leaders, yours truly is going to be serving as commander this year, all right? I had the privilege of working alongside Dan Wells last year. We talked through a lot of issues. I got to see how Dan organized things and scheduled things, and that was very helpful. I got to help in council time. But with Dan's being in and out with deputation things, I'll be serving as the commander to help facilitate that. We, the deacons and I, have for a long time, we prayed and we made some changes to our Wednesday night program. We really felt that AWANA was such a strategic ministry for us and emphasized the importance of outreach, that we are changing our Wednesday night program so that we can emphasize more fully AWANA. That means the pastor is not going to be doing a Bible study and leading songs and leading in a regular, traditional Wednesday night prayer meeting service. That's been wonderful. It's been good. We will still have prayer time that Lee Noth will lead. There will be hospitality and outreach service opportunities, and there will be a number of things like that on Wednesday night for the adults. But we felt like because we have such a strategic opportunity, and it is a philosophically really important need for us as a church. we really have to work hard to emphasize outreach, because it's much easier for us to focus on fellowship and things internally, and we really have to work hard at cultivating the development of relationships, redemptively focused relationships in our community. So I've made the decision with the blessing and consultation with our deacons that we're changing Wednesday night program so we can put more energies into our Wednesday night outreach efforts with AWANA and Pro Teens. So I'll be helping with council time along with a number of other volunteers, and we'll have more to say about council time later. Cubbies, Nikki Reyes is helping with Cubbies, and we still would like to get one more worker assigned to help that group. Sparks, we have Pam Knopf, Katie Blanchard, and Mary Kupski. TNT, we have Mike Aliano, Nikki Ross, and Judy Hodges. And we would like to get one more person to help with that group as well. Dan Wells will help with game time as long as he's able, and Andy Pierce is his assistant. And we have others who would be glad to jump in and help out. Transportation, this is an area we need to pray about because we have a good number of children who come on the van. And Dan is willing to drive the van for a few weeks till we can get up and running, but the busiest time of the entire work year for him is coming up October 1st. And so by that time, we really need to be praying that God would provide us with somebody who would drive our van. We can pick up those 13, 14 kids every night. I would love to have somebody in a minivan pick up another 6 or 7. And if we needed a whole caravan, we've got other places we can start reaching out into. You know, we just have to have willing workers to help us. And so that is a prayer request. Listeners, Sonia Knopf, who's been ill, so not able to be here tonight. Rudy Reyes, Julie Wagner, and Tracy Featherston. And then our registration and records will be Carolyn Kelly and Amy Knopf. All right? And Amy will also be helping with promotion and whatever else. Her job descriptions, etc., etc. Right? And we're not planning on operating a nursery for our workers because we don't currently have any AWANA workers that have need of their children being cared for while they work in AWANA. So we're not planning on a nursery. If you look a little further down, you can see the schedule. It's almost identical to this last year, except we've tried to be a little more purposeful in shifting our time and emphasis. You'll see that the transition times are a few minutes shorter. That means we're going to have to be that much more alert to finish up, to get moving, to get people where they need to go. So we're going to try to keep those transitions shorter so we can carve out an extra 5 minutes for council time at the end, our large group time. That way, my goal is I'd like to introduce some singing into our council time. Let the children sing praises to the Lord, just like Vacation Bible School. If any of you are here for neighborhood Bible time, they about raise the roof off the rafters. I mean, the kids sing, and that'd be a great way to teach them truth and to let them participate in worship. So we'll try to put that extra 5 minutes to good use. And we'll figure something out, ringing a bell or whatever, to help everybody stay on track, on schedule. Promotional efforts, I already mentioned a couple of those things. We've been making announcements at church. Flyers are still available. We've still got a stack. We'll make as many more as we need to get out Sunday and the rest of the week. And we'll send some of these home with children. They can use them to invite kids in the neighborhood. Also, we've sent out letters to all of our non-church families and clubbers. We sent letters out to all of our neighborhood Bible time prospects that weren't already members of other churches. And we've been in the process of following up with phone calls to clubbers who've come before. So lots of different things. There are flyers posted at different community bulletin boards around our town. There are large banners posted at the entrance and out here so all the football player families can see that when they come out the back. And so we want to keep working hard to get word out. On the back page are some calendar items. And you can see starting September 14 and ending May 24. The dates when we will not meet, November 23rd for Thanksgiving, 2 weeks for a Christmas break. The first Wednesday of April, spring break, that's tied to the local school district. We always synchronize with that. And then you can see Grand Prix dates, and I put question mark. We've not done the AWANA Olympics before, at least not in a long while. And so we'll see if we can kind of get up to speed and maybe try that this year. So there are a number of things you can add all those dates to your calendar. They'll all be on the church website as well. But we want to remember to, and I just put the 3 P's. We need to be praying, because this is not just any kind of social involvement. This is not just any kind of youth work. I mean, if you happen to notice the backside of the building, 4 nights a week I get to watch scores of young boys out here, and scores of boys on the other side of the fence in the elementary school. And there's probably a dozen or more dads out there working with youth 4 nights a week, from 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock. I mean, they go out until after it's dark. 4 nights a week with those boys who are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. They are die-hard committed. They are pouring their lives into these boys to teach them football and the disciplines and skills that go with it. Many of those things being very good and virtuous. But there is nothing that will happen, even in the making of a junior wildcat, that can compare to the power of sharing the gospel with boys and girls, many of whom will never hear the gospel in their homes or being taken to church by parents. But we may be the only direct gospel exposure they will have for years. And some of these kids who've trusted Christ at Bible school or other things, we may be the sole source that the Lord is using to disciple these young believers and to anchor them and ground them. And I will say, even though we might not be able to get in the Oxford Leader like the junior Wildcats can, we may not have reporters come and take pictures of us and post them, there will be eternally profound, eternally significant things happening downstairs in that fellowship hall and in the rooms beside and around it all year long. And you will have the privilege of being part of something that is bigger than any one of us, bigger than anything else that we do during the week, that we are able to share the good news of Christ, the gospel, that we're able to disciple these kids and how to grow and mature. Not just watching as they grow stronger or taller, but watching as they're strengthened by the Spirit and the inner man, as they really grow to understand the things of Christ. And so I just encourage you, pray, prepare diligently, come and engage actively. One of the things we have struggled with periodically is some people come and if they get a little bit bored because, well, my job is done, sometimes people are tempted to just drift off and go hang out somewhere. But if you find that you've finished your assigned responsibility, please just go find me, find Carolyn, find Amy, find any one of the other people and say, hey, what can I do to help? How can I pitch in? Because there's more opportunity. We will never exhaust all the opportunities that we'll be given. And we just want to seize those as much as we possibly can. Obviously, it's important to start on time, which means you have to be here in your place before it's time to start. So to be on time for a worker means that you need to be here at least 10 to 15 minutes before AWANA starts. Okay, and I know that's not easy. There may be times when that's just not possible, but showing up at 1 or 2 minutes to 6:30 is not the way we need to do it. Okay, it is an extra sacrifice, and yet if we'll make those extra sacrifices, we could be in place. We can visit with the kids. We can organize and be prepared and really set to go and just invest the whole time that we're given in ministering to the kids. Other than that, I think I'll just let the other things go, but I am really, really looking forward to a great year. There's some, I think, after talking with Rick and learning a little bit more about it, I think there's some really encouraging changes, not just in the graphics of the book or the layout. That's the first thing you notice. But the most important thing is it's really a philosophical shift to help us focus more on not just listening to sections that we might have 6 or 8 kids in different places, but really teaching a lesson that we're all together working on a lesson with TNT, and then kids can say extra sections beyond that, extra Bible study, extra memory verses. But it will help us to really be targeted and focused and really interact on teaching and learning the Word even more effectively. So a lot of encouraging things. We're going to take a break around 7:45-ish or a little after. We've got some refreshments out there, but before we do that, I want to thank Rick and Connie Stomps for being here. Rick and I met a week or two ago, had a wonderful time of fellowship over breakfast, and he has corresponded and shared a lot of ideas. And I've asked him if he would come, and he's going to be a facilitator. I have been positive about AWANA for years, but I've not been that actively involved. He's been involved up to his eyeballs for 30 plus years. And so he's going to come and share some things with us that will really help us, encourage us, equip us. And Rick, thank you very much. And we look forward to your sharing with us about some of those things.
All right, thank you very, very much. I appreciate the opportunity to come and share with you all. And this is going to be a give and take. I will try to give, and I will try to take, and you will try to give, and you will try to take, right? Give it that part. And we're going to have a fun time together. We are going to break off Sparky people in a little while. We will do that. So I need to know, who's a Sparky person? Sparky person, Sparky person. They sit on opposite ends. Yes, typical of a Spark. Yeah, you can't keep them together. You know, what are you going to do? And who's TNT people? We got one. The rest of you are here for the cookies. All right, that works too. All right, so it looks like we got a little gulf in between. Who's Cubby? No Cubby people. Anybody, did you really come for the refreshments? I mean, what?
We have some people who are here because they are very interested in the possibility of working.
Oh, that's a good reason.
That's
Okay.
a very good reason.
So we're going to be addressing a few different things here. All right. How many were in AWANA in the past year? 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, whatever. All right. What are some of your strengths? Somebody say something quick.
Kids.
That's a good thing to have. Okay. What's another strength? Are you generating children? Okay. What's another strength? Come on, we got strengths, we have weaknesses, right? Let's be objective.
Caring workers.
Okay. What's another strength?
We see decisions being made every single year.
Okay. Okay, what else? Anything else?
Growth,
Okay, define growth. What do you mean?
growth spiritually as well as in numbers.
Okay. Now, good. We got caring workers. That's a good thing. We have kids. You got to have kids. There's decisions made, and we see growth every year, spiritual and also in the actual number of kids. That's a good thing. Any other strengths that you have? Okay, now here you go. Let's add to this. Why does a kid want to come? What do you have that makes a kid want to come?
Games,
Games.
Okay, names,
friends,
friends. Okay. What else? Okay, why should they want to come back?
Awards.
Okay, there's awards.
Keyword should, because they feel love. They feel like they're learning something that's changing them.
Okay, how about that? Feel loved, safe, and they sense the Lord in lives that are there, okay? All right, now, let's move on. We'll do this very quickly here. If I can see that little cursor thing. What can we do better?
Train our helpers.
Okay? Are they here? Helpers.
More helpers.
More help. So you train helpers or you need more?
both.
Okay, train helpers need helpers. What else?
Promoting the club.
To what?
Promote the club.
We need to promote the club more. And remember, AWANA is a club, which is a different aspect than typically what you would have here at First Baptist Church. You have First Baptist Church and you have a club within the church which gives you a lot of opportunities to be able to promote it with the public school system. That sometimes we don't take advantage of always. What else? Wow, you guys are just rock solid. You gotta be objective, we have to be honest, you know? How many of you know Christ as your Savior? I do too, all right? So that makes me your what? I'm your brother, right? You're my brother and my sisters and all that kind of good stuff. And you know what? We need to love one another, we can share with one another, right? Because we know Jesus. So, let's be honest, let's be open, and let's share, and let's try to move forward and see what we can do to really impact this community for Jesus Christ. The woods are full of unsaved people. They really are. Anything else? You're good, okay? Kind of get the pliers. I'm going to start pulling teeth.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, you got one, all right?
We, in my opinion, need to decorate our space down there because that's, I don't know, I'm a teacher in training and to me that's just like huge.
It's called eyewash.
It's like,
It
there's
captures
nothing
them.
fun
Do
down
you
there.
decorate for BBS?
Yes,
A
all over
ton.
the place.
A ton for BBS.
Nothing for a while.
We spare no expense for BBS. It's a 1-week shop. We can get workers and everything because it's 1 week. I can serve Jesus for 1 week. And it's in the evening, not bad. Cool, I can do this, yeah. And we come out, but you know what? We need to make it a pleasant place. It needs to be safe, it needs to be clean, it needs to smell good, it needs to be attractive, it needs to pop for the eye. That's important. That's an important thing for kids, because remember, we're dealing with people that are shorter. And shorter people have different ways they look at things. But you know what? Also, taller or older people, we like to see something pop too, don't we? What attracts you? And we have to think that thing through. So we have to look at, okay, we need to promote club more. We need workers. And we need to train helpers. Well, now let's go back just a second here real quick. Over here, these are things we do well. We have kids, caring workers, decisions, see growth, spiritual in numbers. Okay, what's some spiritual growth you saw in your kids this past year? Name 2, 3 things, quickly.
Their attitudes
Attitude,
and their knowledge of the Bible.
understanding the Bible, okay? How about your games? What makes your games so great?
This guy.
Yeah,
That guy, okay? And you know what? We can continually improve the games and everything and make them even more solid. Dano does a good job, but you know what? Dano's not always going to be here. And so we have to revamp and revise a little bit the way that we're going to do things. And we have to ramp things up so that we can accomplish this and we can see God do incredible things. So we're going to cover that then, okay? How about as far as their friends? Having friends here. How do you develop that? How do you encourage that? We don't know, okay?
We recognize
The awards,
them.
rephrase your
We recognize them in council time.
You
Yeah.
recognize them in council time. What do you mean you
$100.
recognize them? They get $1 for what?
Bringing friends.
And the friend gets $1.
Okay, they get a friend, so they get the $1 for bringing a friend. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. All right, they feel safe, loved, etc. Now, which of these are dependent upon us?
The bottom one.
Okay, this one's dependent upon us. If they get their awards on time and everything, and they get their awards, they should get their awards weekly. That should be passed out to them. They earn them, they should get them the next week. That's the way it works. That's really doesn't depend, that depends on us. The games depend on us. And the caring workers depend on us. But I don't see the other stuff depending on us at all, right? But who's the rest depend on?
No.
God. We need to give it over to Him completely and totally and continually do that. We have to realize this is a real life ministry that we are serving Jesus Christ. We're just a tool. That's all we are. So we have to look at how God's going to use us. And as far as here, training helpers. Well, you said you need the helpers too. So we got to have helpers to train. How's that going to happen?
enlistment emphasis from the pastor and leadership of the church.
That's a good thing, but let's face facts. Now, this is reality. We're talking as brothers and sisters, right? If you, how many of you know people at church here? Okay, you know people, everybody knows pretty much, know anybody?
I'm new here.
You're new here? Okay, must be really new. So am I. First name? Tom, I'm Rick. Good, I got a friend. Okay, so we meet people, and you know what? We have to be able to impact them and tell them the things we're excited about. See, our problem is in church is this, we play church. We walk in the doors, who shakes your hand when you come in the building normally? You always have a handshaker.
No,
Sure, you can do the work.
An usher or a deacon. And what's the usher or deacon say as they grab your hand? Glad you're here. Anything else? They don't even say how are you or anything, just glad you're here. Next. You know? You know, how you doing? And we all respond what? Good. We're doing fine. We're all just fine. We're great. We're good. We lie half the time. And you know what? We need to start being, well, it's true. You know that, Dan. Dan's going, oh, please. Well, you know. And we have to be transparent among one another because we are brothers and sisters in Christ. And as we develop a closer relationship with our brothers and sisters, we get to know folks, we can share our passions, our burdens and everything, and we can invite them to come on board after we pray. We need to always pray and allow God to lead. And secondly is, we have to see the man. Pastor is now the man. And the reason is this. Before we were to ask somebody to come work in AWANA, we need to go to him and say, Pastor, I've been praying about Rick Stomps coming to work in AWANA. And he will say, okay, I appreciate that. Let me pray about it and let you know. Or he may say, well, Rick's not quite that mature. Yeah. And I would question his salvation, let's say. I question his salvation. So I don't know if that'd really be a smart thing. Well, guess what? If you ask Rick to come work in AWANA, and Pastor goes, I don't know if we should really have Rick back there, then what? We got a big problem. And it's tough to undo it. So we always go that route when we do it. That's important. So we need to take and we need to promote Club continually through the schools and everything. And Tim Denny, Timdenney, is an attorney out of Lapeer. And you can search Tim Denny, and just search schools. And he's got a whole thing as far as our ability to reach into schools, public schools. They will pass out flyers for you, etc., etc. You got people you know that are on staff at school, all that kind of good stuff. So you can take and you can impact them, and we can promote Club in the school system. Think of signage. Think of, the pastor says there's people back here every evening. What can we do to be able to impact them and let them know, hey, we're over here, hello. We're on the little side road, we are on 24, but we're right here, right by the school. What can we do to let them know, here he is? What do you think?
I've gone out and passed out flyers out there for Bible school.
Oh, please.
When the kids were playing football. Oh, we could do the same thing for AWANA.
You think?
Because they actually don't, the younger kids don't actually use their field on Wednesday night because the noise issue. So they theoretically should be available to come on Wednesday night.
Some will and some won't. And you know what? It doesn't matter because football is going to be over. Take advantage of it while the kids are out there. That means in order for this to happen, we have to build relationships with some of these people. And if we're going to build a relationship with folks, what has to occur?
Spend time with people.
That's exactly right. That means it's we-ins, us-ins, you-ins, me-ins. They got to do it, right? Not somebody else. It's not pastor's job to do it. It's not Dan's job to do it. Not even your job to do it, but it's all of ours. We have to get plugged in. We have to go the extra mile. So, okay, we need to depend on the Lord. We need to look for workers. We need to train them. We need to promote, and we need the eye wash. The eye wash is the easiest part of the whole thing. There's all kinds of stuff. What's your AWANA budget, Dan? Do you remember last year?
$3,000.
Wow. I want to come here.
Really? Cool! How many kids do you run?
40?
Really? Cool! I'm doing math and I'm going, whoa, I'll come work here. Yeah, that's pretty. So basically, the kids are getting how much a kid out of the budget when you look at it that way? Little less than 100, 80 bucks. That's not bad. I don't know what you're giving away, but you're giving away something that must be incredibly valuable for that. Because you know what? We need to use some of that money for the advertising, the eye wash, different things like that. Because you figure the kids purchase their books, not all of them, but most of them. They purchase uniform shirts, whatever the case may be. We pay for the awards, we pay for special stuff and things like that, and basically that's our cost. It doesn't cost that much, so what we need to do is we need to reprioritize some of what we do with the funds, you know, type of stuff. So we have the eye wash. And people to help with the eye wash. Anybody good with eye wash stuff? I stink with that. We have one person that's good, 2 people that are good. We have another, I need 1 more volunteer. You gotta have 3, group of 3. Connie said when you hang things on the wall, it has to be in groups of 3, so we need 3 people.
Odd numbers.
And odd numbers work best, okay? I need 1 more volunteer.
Amy, did you raise your hand?
There we go, yes, sold, all right. So we only had a token guy in the mix, and that will help with our eye wash to make things attractive. And it has to be changed on a regular basis as well, so that it looks current and fresh. So I want you to think, we understand what, go ahead, Connie.
Is there any way, since they've got the fields right next door, that they could even volunteer to have a water distribution?
Oh yeah, you can have
or-
water distribution, you can do a lot of stuff.
I mean,
Healthy snacks for the mothers who want their kids to have healthy snacks. There's lots of opportunities you have, but you have a very short window, because guess what? You've got a 1-month window and it's over from now. This is something that really for next year, you'll start in August. But for right now, you've got maybe a month window, because it's dark. In October, it's dark, shortly after 7. There's a hand someplace.
Yeah. Is there a place to get like AWANA decor, like posters or anything
There are
like
posters that are
Is
some online and
somewhere?
everything. Posters that can be made up and you can have blown up at like the
Yeah.
Kinko, Office Depot type places and stuff like that. You can make them and blow them up. But it's simple eye wash is all it takes.